Greetings, Jackson High School FBLA. If you are watching this, hopefully this means that you are planning on attending our state leadership conference, and congratulations to you for that. We do want to say that whenever we go on these trips, you are representing Jackson High School, District 15, which is our district, and Southeast Missouri. So we definitely want to put on a good face for our chapter and our state. We want to follow the hotel and chapter rules. And we want you to not make us advisors have to be the bad guys. So please make sure that you follow the rules and we all have a great trip. The top 4 winners in all events, that's whether it's a performance event or an online test event, will qualify for the trip to Nationals. Nationals this summer is in San Antonio, Texas, June 29th to July 2nd. One thing that you do get is a t-shirt. Everybody will get a state t-shirt whenever we get up there. The t-shirt is typically required to attend the social activity on Monday night. This in the past used to be a dance, but I think they're replacing it with some other activity this year. I'm not sure what that is just yet. But I do want you to also know that general sessions, where the opening and closing session are on the Missouri State campus, and it's a few blocks away from where our hotel is. So sometimes we do have to walk over there, so do consider your footwear. Ladies particularly, a lot of you'd like to wear your pumps and your heels, and that may be difficult for a long walk. So you might want to also pack up a little pair of flip-flops or something that you can change into to make it easier for you. Also, everybody needs to decide whether they might need an umbrella or a poncho or something in the event that we have any weather to deal with while we're there. They do give away a Spirit Award, and every year we have good intentions. We've done it a couple of years where we got some items and some lights and some things to show our spirit. But if you're interested in leading up that, please let me know so that we can get you equipped with some stuff to help us to try to win the Spirit Award. Please do pack lightly. We will only get one bus for a large number of students. I believe we have 34 students, somewhere around that number, who are signed up to attend. One suitcase and one small carry-on type bag, like a duffel bag or a backpack. If you do want to bring snacks, you can bring them, but they need to be packed with everything else. You can't bring a bunch of extra bags or sodas or anything of that nature. Girls, you can have a purse, something small. It will have to sit with you on the bus. Guys, if you want to have some similar type bag, that's fine as well. Regarding behavior, you were given a permission form, which hopefully you have in front of you. There is a list of things that you can and cannot do. We do not make up this list. This list comes from the state. So inappropriate behavior will not be tolerated. If it is illegal, it will result in notification of authorities, removal from the conference, meaning your parents would have to come to Springfield and pick you up, dismissal from FBLA, and then reporting to the school for disciplinary action for those items. Inappropriate activities, things that you shouldn't be doing that are not illegal, can also result in your removal from the conference and no future trips with FBLA. Disrespect is inappropriate, so please be respectful to your peers and the adults on the trip. Watch your language, please. And I'm just going to say, if you see it, report it. You know, we have every year, it seems like there's somebody who will come back and then after the fact complain about something they saw or something that happened. If you don't do anything about it while we're there, there's not really much we can do for it. If you don't report it, you do run the risk of being guilty by association, because if you were in the room and you witnessed it, then you could be considered guilty as well. So please be responsible. You guys are supposed to be leaders, so even if you do things that you shouldn't be doing, let's not do them on the school trip. State FBLA has conduct rules as well. Those code of conduct is also listed in your packet. It does say that you'll respect all property. You must stay the night in our hotel room, abide by the curfew. One big rule here is I will not be in the sleeping room of the opposite sex. So that means you can't be in a hotel room. And in the past, we've sort of allowed it if there was an advisor who was aware of it and there was a big group and we had the door propped open. The state FBLA has come out and said we cannot do that. So our chapter could get in trouble for that. So there cannot be any more intermingling, even in large groups, in sleeping rooms. Now you can be out in the lobby. That's totally fine, but we're going to have to nix the being in rooms. Alcoholic beverages, cigarettes, Juuls, vapes, all of those types of things, and drugs that are not prescribed to you should not be there. You cannot leave the hotel without permission of the advisor. You particularly can't leave anywhere and go by yourself. We expect good conduct. You're going to get a name badge that you have to wear to pretty much everything. Please don't lose it, and please be sure you have it. Respect the FBLA dress code for things that require dress code, and attend everything that you're supposed to be at. There will be some sessions that we will attend. They're in a big, huge arena, like a basketball arena. We do ask that you try to stay off your phone during the sessions and workshops, just because it's kind of rude. You do have people who are giving these workshops, so we don't want to be distracting to others. Now, if you have a session where they ask you to use it, of course, that's fine. If you do need to use the phone or something, just step out quietly to do that. Also, please double check your phone number and be sure we have the correct number to reach you while on the trip. Please pay attention at all times. We do not want to be the group that's laughing, talking, acting disrespectful, sleeping. There's been years where there's a bunch of people like laid over numerous seats going to sleep. That's just absolutely unacceptable. So we don't want to be that person. If you don't want to go and attend workshops, then don't attend. This is a privilege. The school so kindly pays for this trip, so we just ask that you pay attention and participate. There is a feedback form that you'll have to turn in before you get off the bus on the way home. We do require you to attend a certain number of activities. You do have some downtime, particularly on Monday in the afternoon and early evening. Just remember, the school does pay your $65 registration fee. They pay for the bus driver, they pay for the transportation, they pay for your hotel room. They spend a lot of money on this trip. So let's be thankful and do our part. There were some new activities added last year. One of those was the Leadership Labyrinth, and by the time I had people interested last year, it was full. This year I got on top of it. So we do have 5 students signed up. Your names are listed right there. You will attend the Labyrinth on Monday morning from 9 to 10:45 a.m. Last year they also started the scavenger hunt, which is a goose chase. Remember, we used goose chase for our fall social. So it's that sort of a thing. We did take second last year in the goose chase. So hopefully some of you guys will get teams together. Get that Goose Chase app on your phone and then play that game while we're up there. I know Miss Kramer enjoys going around and getting everybody to find all the different things that you have to find for the Goose Chase. It's a lot of fun. There is also a leadership activity. Our chapter is signed up. These 8 people responded and said they were interested, so that'll be Monday 10:45 to 12:15. This is what the feedback form looks like. It's in your packet that you got, but you'll get another one. You'll get a whole new packet when you get on the bus. Let me just mention, these feedback forms are something that the school board can request of us. So putting dumb things on it or copying exactly what somebody else wrote down is not useful. So please be sure to give us useful feedback. We need to know if there are good sessions. We also need to know if there are bad sessions. I do report this information to the state. So if we did have a presenter that was terrible or that was disrespectful or inappropriate or whatever, and you guys mention that on there, then I can address that. The dress code is a huge deal. Those of you that have gone in the past know they do stand at the doors and verify that you're in proper dress. We have had issues in the past. Fortunately, it's been quite a few years, but with belts, we had some gentlemen that were not allowed in because they didn't have belts on. So as a reminder, with girls particularly, be sure you have appropriate footwear, actual dress shoes, so not flip-flops, not a casual sandal. Basically, the rule is kind of if your toes and the back of your feet are hanging out at the same time and are not enclosed at all, then it's a sandal. A blingy flip-flop is still a flip-flop. So if it goes between your first 2 toes, that'd be a flip-flop. Bra straps and belly should be covered even when your arms are raised. We don't want to be hoochie mamas out there, so please be sure that you dress appropriately. Tight-fitting and short skirts aren't really business wear. No shorts, no capri-length pants. They can't be right up to the ankle. They have to actually go all the way down. And then if you are performing, you really need to look businessy. And if you're in a group, I would suggest that your group color coordinate. So if you're in a group of guys, wear the same color tie. If you're in the group that's a mixed gender thing, try to come up at least with a color scheme. Guys are easy, a tie and a collared button-up shirt, dress pants, dress shoes, dark socks, and that belt. And again, you don't have to wear a dress jacket unless you just want to. Inappropriate would be jewelry and visible body piercing other than the ears. So if you do have any other types of jewelry, you'll have to have that out. No denim fabric or anything that would be considered like leggings or stretch pants. No backless, so if it's cut out in the back, that won't work. No spaghetti straps or tank tops or anything like that. Again, sandals, athletic boots, Uggs, and booties are not considered appropriate. And you can see here a list of things. But we must not be able to see your bra. That's kind of a big deal. Here's a list of, or some examples of some inappropriate attire. These aren't long enough. This is hoochie tank top. This is leggings. That's not going to work. These are shorts. That's not going to work. This is denim. That's not going to work. This is just entirely too tight. Again, shoulders are out, and this is too short. Stretch pants and tall boots. This is just wrong. Anyway, you kind of get the gist of it. That's not appropriate. These would be inappropriate shoes. They've been kind of weird about the shoes lately, like these. They don't like these little canvas shoes that people wear. So do be sure that it is a dress shoe. So female's business suit with blouse or business pantsuit with blouse or skirt or dress slacks with a blouse or a sweater or business dress or a suit, an actual suit, no shorts, and then dress shoes. Here's some examples of some appropriate attire. All right. Not appropriate for guys, you would have these things here. Again, just look at the dress code. You have that in your packet. No short sleeves. You have to have a tie. No bolo ties. That's cowboy string looking ties. Guys are pretty simple. So in a nutshell, button-up shirt with a collar tie, a belt with your shirt tucked in, dress socks, not white athletic socks, and then dress shoes. Of course, you can have pretty socks, but they shouldn't be white athletic socks or plain athletic socks. And here's your just basic whatever guy seems to wear. You will have to dress up. We have 3 different days of activities, so you will have to dress up 3 different times. There's a social on Monday night. It's called FBLA Live. It used to be what the dance was. I don't exactly know what that is because they haven't told us. But name badges are required for any of those conference activities. So if you're going to watch a session, if you're going to a session, if you're going to a social activity, you are required to wear your name badge. So the only thing you're not required to wear it to is around the hotel, or if we go shopping, or like to dinner off-site. You will dress up Sunday for the opening session, and if you're presenting Sunday. Monday, there are workshops, the campaigns, and presenting, and Tuesday, the closing session, which is how the day ends on Tuesday before we travel back home. We will be at the Holiday Inn Express and Suites. It's actually called the Q Hotel now, but it's the same one we stayed at last year. If you went last year on East St. Louis Street, right by the ballpark. It's just down the street from where the conference is at. You should know that we expect you to treat your hotel room better than your actual room, so all your trash should be in one place, dirty towels and so forth, put them all together in one place under the sink. Officers will do a room walkthrough with advisors upon checkout to make sure that everything is as it should be in the rooms. Rooms can be checked unannounced at any time. If we have suspicion that anything's been going on in a room that shouldn't be, or somebody reports something, we may certainly check your room. Again, no mixed gender socializing in rooms. You have to stay in the lobby if you're going to hang out mixed gender. And then never wander off alone. Of course, that's for your protection, but it's also for ours. So you must be in a group of at least 3 Jackson people. We had issue one year of somebody who took off with another school. That is absolutely unacceptable and will get you suspended from FBLA and from school. So be sure that you stay with your Jackson folks. Now, you could have a group of 3 people from Jackson and 3 people from Chaffee. We don't care about that, but you must have 3 that are from our school. And be sure if you guys wander off to go to eat or to go shop uptown, that you do sign out with an advisor and that you have a charged cell phone in the group. Make sure that they have a way to reach you. Our rooming list was in your packet, so you should have that on there. We do not provide private rooms for school trips, so please don't complain that you're spoiled at home and don't have to share a room. We get that. Most everybody is. But for trips, we do have to share, and I know sometimes that's with people that you don't know. Unfortunately, that's just the way it goes. If you have a triple or a quadruple in the room, most of ours are only triples. A few of you guys are lucky and only in a room of 2. Please do sleep where you are assigned. You're not to go sleep on the floor of somebody else's room. Aside from the fact that that makes somebody feel really terrible in your room, we expect you to be leaders and respect your roommates and be kind. So sleep where you're assigned. If something were to happen and there was an emergency, that's where you should be in the middle of the night. Be kind if you have 3 and rotate who gets the bed. I know guys sometimes in a room of 3 don't want to share a bed with a guy. If you're not willing to do that, then be sure you rotate through. I don't like somebody sleeping on the floor the whole week because others wouldn't work with them. Also, of course, figure out who's going to shower first and make your own schedules for those types of things. Curfew is 11 on Sunday and Monday. FBL Live will go from 8 to 10, so there's an hour buffer after that. The opening session will be 7 to 9:30. So you can see we have a little bit of free time built in both of those nights where you can just sort of hang out. So do feel free to bring cards or some games that don't take up much space if you might want to do some things like that. Once curfew comes, you're not to leave the room until morning. That's no ice, no visiting other rooms, etc. They do have securities monitoring the halls, and if they find someone and they have to drag an advisor out of bed in the middle of the night, that will be a huge problem for you. Regarding food, we will eat lunch on the way up on Sunday. Sunday dinner, which typically is Italian. Monday lunch, which will be on your own. You'll just walk uptown and eat there. Monday dinner, which is usually a group activity. We usually go somewhere nice. And then on the way home Tuesday, which will literally be fast food. So again, the group meals, we do 2 group meals. One is typically a nicer sit-down restaurant, and breakfast is free at the hotel. Bring snacks, but don't overpack. Do keep your receipts for meals. We'll give you an envelope. As long as you put your envelopes or your receipts in that envelope, you can be reimbursed for your meals. We presume we still will get reimbursed. We've been lucky and the school has done that for us for years, but we can't guarantee they'll do it forever. So don't go crazy when you eat. Desserts or eating during non-meal times or going to Starbucks or going and having cupcakes, those are not reimbursable expenses. Only the main meals and no desserts. Breakfast is not reimbursable, so if you do choose to get breakfast somewhere else, you cannot submit those receipts. And the envelopes will be provided. They should be returned to Miss Kramer on the bus or whoever's on the bus on Tuesday. After you eat lunch, everybody will total up their receipts, make sure their forms are filled out, and then we'll come around and collect your envelope, which will look something like this. You'll check mark which meals that you're claiming. You'll total up your amount and put it on there. Regarding online tests, depending on where you watch this, you may have already taken them, but the online tests are Thursday, March 7th in the library. There's a test block A and a test block B. This should have been in your packet that you got. This is a general list of who's testing when. If you haven't seen that, please be sure that you show up promptly for your test. And remember that you may not sit next to someone who's in the same event. So if these 2 people are taking accounting 2, they cannot sit next to each other and so forth. So please be sure that you do not sit next to somebody who's in the same event as you. If you're in an event with an online test and performance, or like reports or anything that's prejudged, they will post finals. We'll find out, and I'll usually email whenever I get those finals schedules. If you had a project that has a presentation, you should find out if you made finals for that. When I send out the list, if it says D and Q, that just means your project did not qualify you to present at state, but you do still get to go. On your feedback form, it does have a list of things that you do have to attend, and of course you'll write a short little paragraph about each of those items. For performers, please be sure between now and then that you do practice. If you have a performance to give, please practice it. You cannot have a projector in the preliminary. So if you're in an event that has a prelim and a final, there are no projectors allowed in prelims. If you make finals, there will be one. You have to bring your own laptop. They say it's a good idea to bring your own cord because some years people have showed up and there's no cord to connect it. I always tell everyone to have a backup plan. So print out your presentation or have copies of things available to give to your judges. The internet may not work, so you've got to have a backup plan. Again, if you're in a group, coordinate your color scheme. Be sure to introduce yourself and your team and shake hands with the judges on the way in and out. And be sure you're aware of your time constraints. If you're not sure about any of that, please come see me. Again, if you might be using a projector, you need to make sure ahead of time you know how to do that. No one can help you. So if you show up at an event and you can't figure out how to hook it up, there's nothing anyone can do. Advisors are not allowed in there, and the people running the events will not assist you in connecting a projector. I think that's pretty much all of that stuff. As of right now, and this could change a little bit once we get all of our performance times, we are scheduled to leave Sunday morning around 7 a.m. So we tell you to get here by 6:45. We will leave you if you're late. We cannot wait, especially since we will be going, and then some people will be performing right after we get there. So please set phone alarms and have an accountability FBLA friend that can call you that morning to make sure you're up. Again, don't try not to pack too heavy. Bring snacks. And remember, you must ride the bus. You can't drive up separately. We should be back home Tuesday around 6. It just depends on traffic and how long lunch takes. So if you're in a sport, you won't be back in time for your sport on that evening. If there's a ride coming to get you, let's say that you were trying to go back for something, you do have to contact the advisors in advance if a parent was going to come. And if you are not driving when we get back, please be sure to have somebody here by the time we get back to pick you up so the advisors don't have to wait around. All right, you have a copy of the schedule, so look that over. It is tentative. Once we get numbers, I'll have more information for you on that. But this is the draft. Again, not all of this is perfect. I have a lot of question marks because I don't know when certain things are going to be. But I will update this as that information becomes available. There's a place on here for the advisor contact information. So put the advisor information in your phones so that you can reach us. You're more than welcome to give this copy to your parents because you'll get a fresh copy on the bus. All right, finally, here's just kind of your overview of what's going on each day. So Sunday we travel, some competitions, opening session, Monday breakout sessions, the leadership expo, those of you guys doing the labyrinth or the leadership training, officer campaigning, open testing. There will be some tests that you can just randomly take there. They don't go to nationals, but you can take them. They did this at SMLC at Six Flags too. So if you're interested in doing an open test, that'll be in the calendar as well when you get your program. We usually go to Ririco for dinner on Monday. That is a Brazilian steakhouse. If you don't know what that is, ask somebody who went because it's a fun time. I'm still waiting to see if we have enough to do the Cardinals game. If you are interested in that, please be sure to let me know. You will have to pay for your own ticket. And then Tuesday's awards in the morning, and then we travel back home. The rooming list is in your packet that you got. We will not make any changes to the rooming list, but that is just for your information so you know who you're rooming with. I don't believe we have any rooms with 4, so that should work out nicely for you guys getting ready and so forth. All right, that's pretty much the extent of this big, long Ed puzzle and video that you have to watch to be able to go. If you do have any questions, please do contact me. I will not actually be attending state. Ms. Kramer and Mr. Cochran will be attending with you. I leave for Chicago Tuesday morning, flying there for a conference, and I'll be gone from school that entire week after that. So I wish you luck. Please let me do whatever I can to help you get ready. If you're in a presentation event, come practice. Let's do the best that we can do to make it to nationals.